Hi all, I am back. I know this is a late video. I have been kind of busy, as you'll probably have seen in my vlogs, assuming you've watched them. If you haven't, I will have the links up, at least one of the links up, at the end of this video, so please check it out. So this week, I was very unsure about what to do. I ordered a bunch of stuff off of Priceline, the website, and I ordered it to be shipped. Now, I ordered it a little while back now, over a week ago. I didn't think it was going to take so long to come, but it did. And then I was reading all these comments saying some people like deliveries, not necessarily from Priceline, but from the postal service, Australia Post. Their deliveries they were still waiting for ones from March. And because I ordered in April, I was like, oh God. But it came, when was it? Yesterday? So I thought, why not do a little haul video, show you what I got, and also maybe test some of the products and do some makeup. As you can see, I am barefaced. My hair is kind of a mess. I did brush it, but I went for a walk and everything's a bit, my hair's a bit frizzy. It came in this box. I was very concerned. It seemed very small. Now this was like all up $110 worth from what I've checked. I got two of these. Now these are, I can read the thing. They're Seventh Heaven Black Seaweed Peel Off Masks. So they're only quite cheap, I think roughly around $2. I'm gonna probably add the prices up just to let you know how much these were. But yeah, I got these. I haven't used them yet, so we'll find out if they're any good. They were one of the cheaper masks, but they had decent reviews. So I look forward to being able to try this on Sunday, not tomorrow, the next day. Now, I got these, and this is the only product I have actually tried before. So this is the Biore, maybe it's Biore. It's For Your Pores Charcoal, great for oily skin, so it's nose strips. So they're deep cleansing, they're charcoal, and pretty much it's getting all the gunk out of your nose and like blackheads and whatever's in there. I love using these because I find it satisfying, and they never irritate my nose. Maybe they do other people, I don't know, but I find them quite good. So I recommend this personally. So this is going into products that I'm actually going to test today. So this is the Max Factor Miracle Prep Primer Pore Minimizing Mattifying Primer. I had a primer before which was like anti-redness primer. It was okay, but it probably wasn't the best. It was quite cheap, and this one was about $30. I will add the price. I tend to look shiny sometimes, so I'm hoping this will prevent that. Another product I got was the Revolution Makeup Revolution London Bake and Blot. So it's just powder to put on after your foundation and concealer and everything. I'm hoping it does not flash back. I think I read reviews, no one mentioned that being an issue, so I'm really hoping not, because I don't want to use a powder that's going to flash back and I'm going to look like a ghost or just someone that's snorted cocaine or something. This one now, it looks like they just tore it out a packet. It was like the last of a bunch. But it's a L'Oreal Paris Infallible More Than Concealer. So I got this in, it should be porcelain. Now I'm hoping I am very pale, so I usually have to use porcelain, and sometimes it can be too dark. So I'm hoping that this will be good for my complexion and isn't going to make me look ridiculous. So it's something that when you don't get to try it, you're just going to have to hope for the best. I got another Revolution product. So this is the Revolution Makeup Revolution London Roxy, like Roxasaurus Color Burst Palette. So if you don't know who Roxasaurus is, she is a YouTuber. She does a lot of beauty sort of videos. So obviously she's teamed up with Revolution, and they've come up with this palette. I will dive into that later when I start doing my makeup, and I will show you inside the palette and the actual thing inside the box. It's really pretty, so I'm really hoping for good results with that. Now I'm going to go into doing my makeup. So I will combine some of those products. Obviously I don't have everything for a full face makeup, but I'll use some of the products that I know work for me, and then hopefully they work well with the products I now have. Now I'm sorry if my eyebrows are a bit dodgy. Haven't done them in a little while now. My mum plucked them last time, and yeah, I'm not going to eyebrow parlors. I'm not sure if they're even open, so don't mind my fingerprints. There's fingerprints on it, but hopefully it's not too shiny from the light behind me, behind the camera. But this is the palette, the outside of the eyeshadow palette. It's really pretty. It's a nice shiny blue, and then the back's like a cream. As you can see, we've got a mirror and all these pretty bright colors, so I'm hoping to do a bright color look today. Don't really do those, so wish me luck. So obviously the first thing I'm going to use is the primer, if I can open it. Okay, it's quite runny, so find out how we go. So I usually just put mine on with my hands. This is probably the best option for this one, especially because it's quite liquidy, not really solid. Whether it's just because it's first been used, I'm not sure. So it's meant to help with oily skin. Now I don't know if I'm more combination, I think, than like anything like dry or oily in particular. So I'm hoping I'm getting all the areas. It absorbs quite fast into some areas, so keep that in mind. I don't have eye primer, so I put it on my eyelids. Not a heap, but just a bit to get that all. I find this maybe doesn't spread as much as my last one. The other one was quite like oily, I feel. So it spread a bit, but this one doesn't feel too bad on the skin. It's not sticky. Kind of wet feeling for a little bit, but like it's drying quite fast, so it's not really an issue. I think it's virtually doing its job. Obviously we'll have to see how it works with makeup on top. Now I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless in the colour Porcelain. I think is it 110 Porcelain. It's dirty, don't mind it. I found this really good. Although I'm not sure if I've just gotten paler or it's gotten darker, this shade. But I feel like it didn't really, it's not as suited to me as it used to be, so I'm not sure what happened there. Now what I find, I'm not gonna talk all the way through this, but I'm finding it's sticking quite well to it. So in some aspects, I need to clean this a little. It's probably not budging, my makeup's not budging as much, which is not too bad actually, because I feel like sometimes it just spreads and it doesn't really grip as well. It's not a dear foundation by any means, so it's like maybe $16. Alright, so next I have the L'Oreal Paris Infallible More Than Concealer. It is in colour 320 Porcelain, and I'm hoping that it's going to be the right colour. It should by rights be, but I don't know. It's quite a big brush and it's got like an indent in the middle. Okay, so far this is a really good colour for me. Obviously it's a lot paler than my foundation, but I've been using stuff that's kind of too dark, but I splashed out a little more than I would or did the other stuff. and got one that hopefully is better for that. So I tend to get dark rings under my eyes and like next to, so and I like to put it here and here. So I'm gonna put that in with some of this sponge. So I'll start with my nose. Now the eyes is where I'm really interested about. Now what I feel like I'm gonna have to do is really blend out, because I'm finding this is like really pale and I think I've put too much. So this is, yeah, a really good pale one, but I'm finding I've put too much on for how pale it is. I didn't expect it to be this pale, so I'm trying to blend this out so it's not looking ridiculous. I'm probably going to have to put a bit more foundation just to even the tone out. So I am really happy with the L'Oreal Paris Infallible More Than One Concealer in colour 320 Porcelain. It definitely spread, it's definitely light. I was a bit unsure when it was in this about how light it was going to come out, but it's definitely a light concealer. So if you're pale like me, it is a great option. It's a lot lighter than my foundation. So just keep that in mind if you are wanting something a bit more similar to your foundation colour. But it's great coverage, I find, and it spreads really easily. I'm going to go straight into blush. Now I use the Rimmel London Royal Blush Cream Blush in 003 Coral Queen. So I don't know if this is still around. I bought this kind of secondhand. I'm going to say secondhand, but it isn't really. It was never used. It was a woman that must have worked at, I don't know if she used to work at a chemist or what the go was, but she had heaps of makeup products that weren't open and they were just in boxes. So I don't know, and she was selling them really cheap at like a garage sale. I'm just going to spread this on. Now I just spread this on with my finger. I put a bit on my fingers and then spread it in kind of a circular upwards motion. We'll call it that. I'm going to move onto this Makeup Revolution London. I don't need to say that every time, but I do. Bake and blot powder. Now it comes in a really nice shiny rose gold case with a see-through front. Now the good thing I like about these sort of baked powders is that they don't go everywhere, or they shouldn't. So they don't make a mess, and you don't seem to get as much wastage from ones that are just loose powders. So I don't use loose powders. I might one time, but I don't have any plans of it as of yet. So I'm feeling baked on, so that's really good. So far so good with that. I've had no issues with it. It's not making me itchy. I don't know if that's an issue, but it's not anyway. It's also, it doesn't smell bad. It's not going everywhere. It is so far quite good. I don't know if you can see this. I will add this in if you can't. It's kind of dark looking, but there is no flashback. So I am very pleased. Alright, so I'm going to do my eyebrows now. You can't really see on this because it's that worn out. This is the front part of it. Now this is broken in half. So this was the Australis Brow Bar, I'm pretty sure it was. Not sure if they still sell it. I think they do. So stand by me. I'm not the best at eyebrows. And mine are definitely not looking the best. So this is just like a gel, like a cream. It's not my, it's pretty good, but it's not like my favorite. It's not always, like, I've definitely seen better and used better, but at the time my hair is in the way, it is coming out. At the time I did not have the money, or maybe had a bit of money, but I didn't want to spend it all on eyebrow pencils. It was my first time really experimenting in the eyebrow area, and I had previously just been using eyeshadow. So I just used a spool. Some people call spoolie, I don't know, I call it spool. I could be pronouncing it completely wrong. To just brush my eyebrows through and like get the gel a bit more through my eyebrows. I'm not one to do really like strong eyebrows, like really sharp edges. I don't. I don't know if it'd suit me, but maybe it would. I just haven't done it and I'm not game enough to do it. Let's be real. It comes with powder, so I use a lighter shade because just I don't have overly dark hair, and I don't want to look ridiculous. So I just put this through just to both kind of set it and get a bit of even colour throughout, just to make it a bit better and more even things. So I want to use more as a stroke looking to make more the hairs, and this one I use just as a general colour. And then I'll just pull this through again and just get my eyebrows even looking. So I think I'm going to do up my sleeve of different colours and just test them to see what they turn out like, just as a tester sort of situation. So first I'm going to use is the Timmy. It's just like a white. So the white isn't the whitest, brightest sort of white, but it's very translucent. It probably will come off very easily, but it's nice and smooth, definitely. Next is Lemonade. So it's a yellow. It's quite a bright yellow, so I have hopes for this one. So it's quite bright. Just on my arm, just a note, it's not coming really evenly. It's coming off a bit blotchy in spots, but I'm thinking if you really rub it in and blend it out, it won't be such an issue. Alright, so next colour I have is the lavender, and it's purple. It's a lavender colour. It's just a soft sort of lavender, but you could definitely build that up, I feel. Definitely a nice lavender colour, and it's very soft and muted, and I like that. So the next colour is the Fetch. So that's like a hot pink sort of colour. That's really, really pigmented. So I'm loving that colour. That one's extra pigmented. You probably don't need to build up a whole heap with that one. It'll definitely show up. Now the next one is Dinosaur. It is just like a lime sort of green. Yet again, not as bright as the pink, but one you can definitely build up. It's still quite pigmented. Especially this was only like $25, so it's fairly cheap for an eyeshadow palette. So next colour is the Blue Lagoon. So that's a very bright blue, so I'm hoping to get a lot of pigment out of that one. I'll just do this above the white. That is super pigmented. Definitely going to get a heap out of that. So this is Golden Hour. I'm not sure why it's got stuff there. So it's just a sparkly gold. This is a colour that I've got similar in other palettes to an extent, but I'm hoping to get a bit of see now. This one's quite disappointing actually. Now this is like, I don't even know if you can see it. It's next to the green, but it's more sparkly. It's not really that gold. It's gold sparkles, but for the most part you can't really see it, so that's quite disappointing. So next I have the Bang Bang. It is like a, I don't know, burnt orange. That one's quite pigmented. It's one of the more pigmented colours, I think. Not as pigmented as the pink, but definitely up there. Alright, so next I have Princess. Now, I don't have a whole heap of faith in this one, as it is another sparkly one. Actually, it was more pigmented than the Golden Hour, so it's not the most pigmented, but you could definitely build it up. I only did like 2 little rubs of it, and it isn't too bad. So next is Peaches. It's like a pretty pink colour, a bit muted, so I'll try that one. So as you can see, it's fairly pigmented, a lot more pigmented obviously than the sparkly ones. Next is a colour I'm unsure about. It's called Botanical. It's kind of a sparkly greeny colour, almost aqua. Alright, so this one is quite muted, but you can definitely see it. Also then the gold, I'll do another rub on it. It's one you could build up, and I definitely think you could see it. It's not going to be a pop, but it's going to be a nice colour for your look. Next colour I have is the Cocoa. Probably won't use this in my look today because I'm not sure what I added in with. I wanted to do quite a bright colour, and this is quite a dark brown, as you know, like a cocoa brown. Alright, so that's quite pigmented. Not my most favourite colour. It's not going on overly evenly, not like the blue. The blue went on really nicely. More of a dirty look. So next we have Red Velvet. It's a really nice red colour. As it's very self-explanatory about what colour it is. So next to that. Alright, so that's going on quite nicely. Yet again, a little bit like the brown in that it's not going on overly smoothly as the rest of them. Not quite like the blue that went on quite well in the hot pink. But definitely pigmented and one you could build up on. This one looks like a really pretty colour. It's Constellations, but is also another sparkly colour. So I don't have... I'm unsure how that's going to work out yet again. Okay, so... I don't think you'll see that, especially because I'm so pale. It might work out better on someone that's a bit darker than I am. I'm quite pale, so this might be a little harder to see on my skin, but it's not very pigmented, even less so than the gold. Whether that is partly because of my skin tone, I'm unsure, but if you are pale like me, it's probably not one that's going to show up overly well on your complexion. Alright, so next is Memories. It is a purple colour. It's a very rich sort of purple. It's a very pretty colour, so I'm hoping it turns out really nicely. Alright, so it will build up, but yet again, not overly pigmented and not going on overly evenly. It's going on fine. It's just, it will need blending to get it to a nice even sort of tone. This is Royal, so it is yet again very sparkly, very, I'm not going to say bright, but like it would be quite a pop if it is pigmented. Alright, so I'm actually really disappointed because it came out really easily, as you can see on my finger, and it just glided out. But when it got to my arm, it really wasn't as pigmented as I was really hoping it to be. Colour, we've got Twilight, so yet again it's like a purpley bluey colour. Quite a dark colour by it looks, so it's coming off nicely. I'll put it here. I don't know how well you can see. Alright, so that's coming off really smoothly, evenly, and it's quite pigmented, so I'm very happy with that. And last one is Sky. It is essentially like a silver glitter. It might have a tint of blue, but it's a bit hard to tell. Alright, I'm actually quite surprised. So there it is there. I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera, but for a silver, a sparkly silver, and considering the other ones, the other sparkly ones, this is probably one of the best. Alright, so that's all the colours. I'm going to wipe these off my arm. and then I'm going to do my look. Now keep in mind guys, that took me all of 2 seconds to wipe off. So whether that's good or bad, I don't know. I've had some really good eyeshadow palettes that are really hard to get off. This wiped off super easy with this. It is a cleansing wipe. How easy this would come off in day to day, I don't know. I'm not testing that today. I don't have time to test it today. But it's just something to keep in mind that it came off really easily with this, so I'm not sure how long it will last. Alright, first up guys, I'm going to use a bit of white. I always like to use white as a base. Whether it just gives me time to think about what the hell I'm doing, I don't know, but I just like to use it. So this is actually going quite well on. Now I've got a few whites, and look, none of them are expensive by any means, but this is probably one of the better ones. I might try and do a green with a yellow. Yeah, alright. So I'm not sure how this is going to work out. My theme is going to be, I think, that we're going to go like lemon lime. Don't ask me how this is going to work out because I have no idea. I've never done this in my life. Now, it's not coming as brightly as I'd hope, so I might have to build this up. This is the dinosaur, which I've rubbed off my hands, my arm, sorry, so I'm not sure how bright it was when I put it on. Alright, so, yet again, not overly bright, but there is like a zero fallout, so I'm very happy with that aspect. So, yeah, yet again, not the most pigmented. It's not looking super bright. Alright, so I'm going to try and just see how it goes if I wipe a little bit on my finger and put that on. Alright, so this is helping a little. Alright, so the yellow is going on quite well actually. We're gonna put a bit more green, I think. Not sure how well this will blend, but we'll see. I'm gonna try a little bit more yellow. I like bright. You want extra bright. Also want this to blend into here a little. As you can see, pigmented, it's yellow and green with a bit of white. I do not have eyeliner with me. I do not pack that for self-isolation, so I should have. I didn't think I'd be here for this long, but here I am. Now, my camera cut out, so I'm not sure where in my eyeshadow experience that happened. I did my lashes, as you can see, hopefully. So for my lashes, I used the CoverGirl Exact Eye Lights. Eye lights. So this was in Black Ruby. So I'm not exactly sure what color that is, but it's kind of a brownie. Maybe it's a reddy black, but you don't really notice. Maybe you do, I don't know. Lastly, for the lipstick, I'm going to do Young Blood. Now I think I got this at an opening of a hair salon, like it was a beauty salon, so I don't know much about it, it's just a sample, but it's kind of watermelon-y looking in colour. More just a lip gloss, but I'm going to use this as a thing because I don't have a really bright like watermelon-y colour, fruity coloured lipstick. Alright, Alright, so this is my finished look, minus the hair, minus the outfits, my finished makeup look, realistically. And now I used all the products, so everything did super well. My hair is going nuts. What is happening? Everything I used today, I would highly recommend. Even the eyeshadow palette that I did critique some colors on, for $25, I can't go wrong. I don't think you can go wrong for the colors being so vibrant, having like yellows and blues, a lot of not high end, but popular sort of brands like Maybelline and L'Oreal and Rimmel and all that sort of thing. Whenever they release eyeshadow palettes, they're usually not that pigmented, I find, the ones I've tried. So this is definitely one worth buying and trying out for yourself. All of them are very smooth, not all are pigmented, but I don't think that's a huge issue with this palette. Alright, so I think that's all I need to say for today. I'm getting very distracted because my cat's there and my mum's talking about me and everything's going wrong. Not wrong, but yeah. But I am here. Thank you for watching my video. As I said, I would recommend all these products I tried today. Obviously not sponsored by anything, not by Priceline, not by any of these brands. I'm not popular enough to be sponsored. But here is my overall look. I hope you enjoyed that video and I will see you guys next week. Bye.